A busy weekend for Madison County fire crews, putting a spotlight on the fire risk all across the county.
Yeah, with burn bans still in effect, firefighters are asking you to help prevent that next call. 5 News reporter Emily Moss explains.
In these kind of conditions, accidentally starting a large fire is easy. With how dry the grass is here in the region, it really doesn't take much. And that's why fire departments here in Madison County are warning their residents about why they should be following the burn ban. On Friday, Huntsville, Smyrna, and Bohannon Mountain crews spent hours battling a wildland fire in a secluded part of the county. Huntsville Fire Chief Kevin Shin says it started with people burning their trash.
Individuals were out and they thought they could burn trash and it wouldn't be a big deal, and it became a big deal. Probably 15 acres of fire there.
On Sunday, Huntsville firefighters were called to another large fire at the Royal Oak charcoal plant. And even with some rain, Smyrna Assistant Fire Chief Race Markley says conditions are drying out fast.
I mean, this rain this morning, it didn't even get enough to soak into the ground. Everything's still gonna be really dry. If you'll notice, it was raining at 6 a.m. this morning. By 8 o'clock, the concrete was already dry and hot. And everything else is gonna be also dry.
And with more rain possible this week, Shin says it can create a false sense of safety, that it's now okay to burn.
And that's one of those misconceptions a lot of people have. When it rains, they think, okay, well, everything's good. But what happens is the moisture will seep into the ground and the ground covering is still dry. And so it doesn't take long, especially if the sun comes out. We're right back in the same conditions where everything is volatile, and if it catches fire, it's going to spread.
If you see smoke, Ray says, don't wait to report it. And a warning, if you disobey the ban, you could get a ticket.
And, be watching. If you do see smoke, don't be scared to call and report it, because any little thing like that, the faster we can get there and put it out, the better.
In Madison County, covering news where you live, Emily Moss, 5 News.
Well, as many area fire departments are urging people to pay attention to the burn bans, not to do any kind of burning at all, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, known as NOAA, notes that last July is the 36th driest on record since 1895. It also shows a majority of our immediate area is in a moderate to severe drought.
Crews working on a damaged transmission structure caused power outage in Leflore County at 3 this afternoon. More than 1,700 people were in the dark, and as you can see now, that number is down to about 5,670. More than 1,500 customers without power. The outage mostly impacted those with Kiamichi Electric.
New at 6, a Centerton man is facing charges after investigators say he broke into his ex-girlfriend's house through a doggy door and assaulted her. 29-year-old Austin Howard is charged with aggravated residential burglary, among other charges. Court documents say Howard entered his ex-girlfriend's house in Washington County through the doggy door and dragged her out of the bed by her ankles during an argument. He was arrested by Fayetteville police today. A bond was set for him at $150,000.
New details tonight in a Sulphur Springs murder. 5 News is learning that a second person now has been arrested.
We first told you about the arrest of Hunter Anderson, who was caught in McDonald County, Missouri last week. Well, new court documents say 4 witnesses were interviewed and identified Anderson as the shooter who allegedly killed Triton King. Documents reveal Anderson told investigators he threw the gun used in the shooting into a pond.
Documents name 19-year-old Morgan Young as one of the witnesses. She told investigators she found several shell casings at the scene and threw them in a trash can. She was charged with hindering apprehension. She is in the Benton County Jail with a $25,000 bond. Arkansas State troopers say an 87-year-old man is dead after being hit by an 18-wheeler. It happened on Highway 412 in Huntsville. Police say James Anderson failed to yield when turning onto Madison County Road 8625. He was hit by a truck. The truck driver was not injured. The 2026 general election taking shape now in Benton County.
Now, the County Election Commission held its ballot draw today, a process that will determine the order in which candidates will appear on the November ballot. State law requires when 2 or more candidates are running for the same office, a draw happens for their placement on the ballot. Ballot draw is one of the final steps before election officials prepare the ballot for the November general election.
Wednesday, we'll actually be approving our ballots, going through making sure all the names are spelt correctly. Everything is on every precinct ballot style that's supposed to be there. We're not missing anything. From there, we will go into testing all of this equipment behind me, because we do have to physically set every one of these up to put the election on it, test it, make sure it's working before it goes out the door.
There was also a ballot draw today in Sebastian County. Meanwhile, the Democrat Party of Benton County plans to nominate a candidate for a special election to fill the rest of the House District 8 term. Former state rep Austin McCullum resigned from that seat this month after his arrest. He's facing domestic violence allegations. Now, the Democratic Party's special convention starts in about 25 minutes at the headquarters in Rogers. Benton County Republican Committee has nominated Kara Armis. The winner in the November election will only serve until January, when Brian Armis is set to take over that seat.
Voters in Oklahoma are heading to the polls tomorrow to decide who will be the Republican candidate on the November ballot for governor, as well as Secretary of Education.
Yes, aside from state races, school districts in LaFleur and Sequoia counties have bond issues on the ballot. The Salisal School District is hoping voters approve a $23.5 million issue to build a new performing arts center and a modern track and field complex. Howe school leaders hope a proposal passes to complete the second phase of a new high school.
Be able to move our student body around, and then it'll create opportunity to spread out, reduce class size, allow for growth if that be the case. Where a class needs to be split, then we can actually move into new available rooms.
Polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. tomorrow for Election Day.